This is Johnathon Banks here for Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Johnathon Banks, trainer of Gennady Golovkin, ahead of the third fight between Golovkin and Canelo this Saturday in Las Vegas. Johnathon, first of all, what's sort of the plan? We're Wednesday today. What is sort of Golovkin's mindset? What happens in these last few days before the fight? Does he just stay on his own? Does he like to explore? What happens?
I mean, just more so relaxing. Working out a little bit, getting a good sweat going, and just making sure everything is right for Saturday.
Just wondered if you could just first of all talk about sort of how you compare working with Golovkin to some of the other fighters you've worked with. Specifically, I'd say Wladimir Klitschko. How would you compare them as fighters and what they bring to the ring?
I mean, mentally, the physical aspect of a fighter doesn't really matter to me. It's the mental aspect of a fighter. That's what you judge working off of. If mentally the fighter is the true champion and they want to work, then it makes it a great work environment. And that's what reminds me of G, Vladimir, and stuff like that. Is because they got great work ethics and they just want to work.
Like Klitschko, Golovkin's career has been long and it's very successful, and now we're at this point where the third fight is here. How would sort of training camp compare now to what it was, say, 2-3 years ago when he was a bit younger?
Doesn't change. I mean, it's the same environment, same sport. Nothing's changed.
So the things, in a sense, does he have to sort of have more rest days? Does anything like that come into it?
Nothing changed. I mean, you got to rest as a fighter either way it go. You know, so you got to pick your battles. Each camp is different. Some camps you do more of this than more of that. So each camp is different. But it has to be. I'm not going off his age. I'm going off my experience of what I see him do and how he's looking and what he needs. I go off what he needs, and I tell him what he needs. I say, oh, you don't need this, you need that, and whatever.
How do you assess his performance against Murata last time out? He had a long time out of the ring and he got the stoppage win. Obviously, people had their opinions on sort of how it went early, but what's your view? Well,
like you say, it's a long time under the ring. So once he got his footing under him, and once he got going, he pretty much ended it, and that's what matters. You know, now he ain't been so long out the ring. Now we can get started right away. Let's go to work.
On the other hand, Canelo is coming off a loss against Dmitry Bivol. Without, obviously, I know you won't want to give too much away, but how do you assess how he performed in that fight?
I thought Bivol did a good job. He did a good job. He moved, he threw volume punches. I thought he did a good job.
People in this build-up have said that they feel that despite the first two fights being as close as they were, they feel that Canelo can win this fight decisively by stoppage. Does that surprise you, given how close the first two fights was and, you know, how durable Golovkin's been throughout his career?
Does it surprise me that Canelo fans say it could possibly end in a stoppage? No, they his fans, of course. They love their guy, man. I have nothing negative about that. That's how they feel, and that's how they should feel. When you're rooting for a guy, you root for him all the way.
What can we expect from Gennady on Saturday night compared to, say, the first two fights, in your opinion?
Well, you can expect something similar. You can expect war. It's going to be a war. It's going to be a tough battle. But I think what you're going to see Saturday is a little bit. It's a little bit more. It's going to be more of a war. It's going to be more dramatic. It's going to be a lot more, because G's just he's in a rare form right now, and I just think he's gonna look good this fight.
How do you assess sort of how Canelo's come into this build-up throughout? He said that this is a personal fight for him. Does Gennady feel the same way, do you think?
I mean, it's business for G. And that's the bottom line to it. If it's personal for Canelo, that's his business. But this is just business for G.
Do you believe that Golovkin can end this fight by stoppage?
That's the same thing saying, do I think Canelo can end it by stoppage? Neither fighter has touched the canvas. So that remains to be seen. Neither fighter has been down. Neither fighter has been called for a slip, knockdown, nothing. So, I mean, if you got two guys who took punches from some of everybody and never hit the canvas, 9 times out of 10, you go in 12 rounds. So you got to be prepared for that. You can't prepare for a knockout. You could say you can, but he's prepared to go 12 rounds. I promise you that. I'm meaning Canelo. He's prepared to go 12 rounds. Yes, he want to destroy him. He may want to knock him out, but I guarantee you he's prepared to go 12 rounds.
And have you and Gennady discussed his future beyond this point? Some people feel that he may retire if win, lose or draw in this fight.
Again, I do one fight at a time. I don't know nothing past this fight. But once this fight is over, I'm sure we'll have a conversation about whatever else you want to talk about.
And I just wanted to get your opinion on a fight that isn't announced, but a lot of talk in the UK about Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. What do you think of that fight if that happens?
Super, it's a mega fight, but it's going to be a tough fight on both sides. But, oh man, hell of a fight.
If you were in AJ's corner, what would you advise as a trainer is best way to beat Fury? Because we've seen he can fight on the back foot, he can come forward and win by stoppage with his Kronk style. How do you look at it from an Anthony Joshua fan's perspective?
I wouldn't give a strategy right now unless I talk to him directly. But I would just tell him to go fight him. Make it as physical and don't make it tactical. Make it physical. Make it physical and as violent as possible.
Johnathon Banks, thanks for talking to pro boxing fans, and we look forward to a great fight on Saturday night, Canelo against Golovkin.
Thank you.